In the past, text recognition was very error-prone. However, nowadays you have powerful libraries which are helping you, and we will look at how we can do text recognition with Firebase ML, which is doing all this for you out of the box, recognizing text out of images. We are going to build this application here on the left side, and let's get started. We start with this empty application here. We have some buttons and we have to add now the functionality for these buttons. The first thing we like to do is to create a new file, Firebase ML API, and here inside we want to call the Firebase APIs. Therefore we create a new method, recognize text, and here inside we put a file, our image file, which we later select here with this button pick image, and we will select this file from the gallery. First of all, we check here if this image file is set, otherwise we return here an error message. And now comes a successful case. So we get first of all the vision image. So in Firebase ML, you create here this Firebase vision image out of your image file. So this is our normal image file, which we put there inside. And then we also create here text recognizer. And it's pretty simple. You'd simply call this Firebase Vision Instance Text Recognizer. And now we want to create our result. So we want to get from the text recognizer that he process our image. And there inside we put our vision image inside. And that's the magic basically. And here from there on, everything is easy. So we get this vision text back, and then we also close the text recognizer. And now we want to extract the text out of this vision text. So I create a new method, and inside of this extract text, we put our vision text inside. And now we go here over the vision text. So the vision text has some blocks, then it has some lines and some elements. And from these, we construct our text to the text which we want later to get. And then we simply return this text here. And then we have this recognized text from the image, and this is what we want to return. And in the case that this text is empty, we simply return that the text was not found in the image. And there can also be an error case, so make sure also to try and catch this error here around our process image, and then we simply return here this error message. That's all what you need to recognize a text from an image. You can get the source code from the first link in the description box, and you can also get my course Efficiency with Flutter from the second link in the description box. Now we go back to our text recognition file, and now we want simply to call first of all this pick image method, the scan text method, and also the clear method. But first of all, I like to mention that you have also to put here this Firebase ML Vision plugin inside, and also this image picker in clipboard. So this is what we used for the text recognition. And you also need to make sure that you set up Firebase correctly. And therefore I put you a link into the resource section of the description box. And there you see how you set up Firebase correctly, because this is needed for the text recognition. And here inside, we first of all take our image picker from the library, which we have put inside. And then we get here an image by calling getImage. And we also select here the gallery right now for the source. And then we want to set this image. So we create a new method where we put here our file also inside. And then we create here this setImage. Here we simply put our new image into the image property of our state level, and this then will be displayed in our build image method, which I have created beforehand. So we simply show here an image, otherwise we show here this icon if we don't have an image. And I think this is really basic to pick an image. And the next thing is to implement the scan for text. And here inside of the scan text, which will be executed if we press on scan for text, we first of all show a dialog. So we want to show here a loading dialog. So I take here the circular progress indicator widget to show this loading dialog. Then we want to call here our API. So we call here our API, which we have created before this method, this one here. And inside of it, we only had to place one parameter, and this is our file, which we have selected. So this is our image file, which we picked here with this button. And then we get here back the text, which was recognized from this image. And then we simply want to set the text. And inside of this method, we simply put our new text, which we get from this text recognition, to our state. And this then will be displayed later in our area at the bottom. So we also need to create it later. And in the end, we also want to hide here this loading indicator, which we have shown here in the beginning before we code this recognize text method. And the clear method is pretty simple. So this is the last button which we have to implement. And here we simply call it set image and set text. And we set it to some default values. So we set the image to null. And we also set that the text is an empty string. So from the functionality, everything will work right now. Only the last thing is that we also need to put this text area with this copy clipboard inside. So we want to create a new widget. And this widget is this text area widget where we put our text and also onClicked handler inside. So I create here this row, and inside we create an expanded because our text widget inside should be expanded. Then we set a height. So we limit it to 100 pixels. And we also set some decoration, some border, some padding and alignment. And here inside we set a selectable text, because with this one you can basically select the text which is here inside. And you can also scroll the text, which is really cool. And therefore you don't need to do much. You just add the selectable text. And this supports a lot of features. And in the case our text is empty, we simply want to show the message in the beginning, scan an image to get the text. Now we can also build this button here next to it. So we add here this icon button, and inside of it we call this onClick copy. And this will be just a plain widget without functionality. We will do the functionality again in our text recognition widget. And this widget which we have created, we want to put here under our controls, so under this controls widget. And therefore I add here some space between. And then we add this widget which we have created before, this text area widget. And here inside we first of all put the text which was recognized by the Firebase servers. And we also add here this onClick copy. So if the button on the right side is clicked, we want to do some functionality here. And I will simply create here a method copy to clipboard, and we use here for this plugin Flutter Clipboard, which I have also put here into the pubspec YAML file, this clipboard plugin. And we only want to copy the text if the text itself is not empty. And yeah, I think that's everything what we need for the functionality. And if I hot reload right now, you also see this text area which we have created before, and also this button. And this is here with the clipboard. If we click here, then it will be later copied to the clipboard. And now we want to try this application out. So I click here on pick image, and I take this image here. And now I click here on scan for text. And here on the emulator, it doesn't work out of the box probably. But if you try this out on the real device, then it will for sure work. And otherwise you can also click here on clear, and then this will be cleared. And you also can click here on copy if you want to copy the text later. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel here to get the latest news about Flutter, and see you soon. Bye.